You can't write an offer in 7 minutes, so they're okay.
Okay, so there we are on YouTube, and we'll be live soon. Cool, how exciting. And then I must just remember to hit record. But we do, yeah, luckily we crop the video so that you just get the content, none of the before and after chat.
Oh, well, that at least makes life interesting, right?
Yes, yes, we've had a couple of, because after the session ends, there's a 30-second delay, and people let me know, we can still hear you speaking, but I mean, I'm just thanking the presenters. It's not like I'm saying anything funny. I'm like, it's okay. All right, we've got 30 seconds. Let me record. And if you want to see yourself, you can open Swapcard and go see us there. Just mute the Swapcard screen so that it doesn't create an echo.
I don't think so. One of me is enough.
One thing at a time. Give me your best smile. I can take a picture. Awesome. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this fantastic panel, Leveraging the Power of Technology. We have three beautiful guests joining us today, and I'd like each of them to introduce themselves. So, Lindy, will you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey there, I am Lindy Broom-Cook. I am with Keller Williams in Cape Town. We don't have a name yet because things fell apart last year, but we are still Keller Williams. So if anybody knows anybody in Cape Town, you send them to me. Lovely to meet you guys, and we'll chat soon.
Thanks, Lindy. We're happy you're still with us. Tiaan, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tiaan Olivier. I'm from Keller Williams Advance in the West Rand in Gauteng. And yeah, I've been a real estate agent since 2015 and enjoying every second of it. So I'm very honored to be here. Thanks, Natasha.
Thanks so much. Ronald, last but not least.
Hi, everyone. Ronald van Skeltemer from KW Edge. Been in real estate since the end of 2017 and joined a team now with my dad and my mom, and fortunate enough to work with them every day. So look forward to chatting to you all today.
Awesome.
Fantastic. So this fantastic panel of ours today is here to talk to you about technology. Right? We know that technology plays a humongous role in real estate, and to truth be told, you can't move forward in real estate without technology today. So I'd like to hear from you. What exactly is the tech-enabled agent? If you had to word it for our viewers, how would you let them understand what is the tech-enabled agent? Ronald, go ahead.
I'll take us off then, Natasha. So I think everyone thinks a tech-enabled agent, or I think it's not just an agent who knows how to log into Facebook, post an ad, or someone who knows how to log into My Edge, Lightstone, and send a WhatsApp. In my opinion, a tech-enabled agent is an agent who knows how to use technology to gain information or data, and then obviously refine or fine-tune that data, and then in turn use technology again to communicate or market to that predefined audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. Lindy, how would you define it?
So I had planned a very elaborate answer for today for that question, but after listening to Jason Abrams yesterday, he summed it up perfectly. He said that the internet has changed the way that we do things. It has changed the way we live, and it's changed the way that we work. And the only way to be able to know what to say, how to say it, and what to make it count is to constantly be reminding ourselves that all success is found through humanity, and that all human ideas is to be magnified by technology. So I couldn't have said it any better.
Oh, fantastic.
I completely agree. Gary also says, to reword it in Gary's word, is real estate agents are physical beings, right? You need a real estate agent for a real estate transaction, but we need to be digitally enhanced, right? We need to magnify ourselves and the service that we provide through the tech that's available. Awesome. Thanks, Lindy. Tiaan, how does the tech-enabled agent fit into your world?
Well, Natasha, I believe that technology exists to simplify everyday life, making room for what truly matters and giving you the freedom to be more human, more present, more everything basically. And now more than ever, as home and business increasingly coexist and virtual life weaves itself into reality, you need to partner with the right tools, tech and resources to help you maintain your business at the highest level. So without that, I can't see.
Yeah. And I love the way you said more human, right? The goal of technology isn't to take the human out of it. In fact, it's to bring us together, right? To make the world a smaller place and not a bigger place. I love that. Thank you. So when it comes to the customer experience, what do you see that your customers expect these days when it comes to technology, being in contact, how often, what kind of communication, what do your clients need as the customer experience? Lindy, go ahead.
Well, first of all, it's instant response. If you take when the inquiry comes off P24, you phone them in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you're going to get a warm call on the other side, and they're going to tell you that no other agent has ever done this for them. And if you phone them in a half an hour, they're not going to remember who you are and which button they clicked on. So it is instant response. And then when it comes to doing the transaction and building that relationship, is making them feel that they are the most important part of this. It's not the sale, it is helping them reach their goals and dreams and walking the journey with them, but basically shining the light on what their transaction is going to be, how they're going to get through it, what to expect. So, when you say OTP, you can't say OTP and not explain what it is, because in the real world, OTP means one-time PIN, not offer to purchase. So, you're going to make sure that you speak their language and be on their level. They don't do this every day. And that is why they're going to refer you to their friends and their family, because you hold their hand and walk them through it. Again, I'm going to quote Jason from yesterday. He calls us professional fear handlers. Okay, that is the best way to explain what we do. Handle their fears, answer their questions, and walk the walk with them is the best customer service that we can give.
I absolutely love that. And that just, again, matches what Tiaan said about making it more human, not less human, but being there instantly when they need you during this journey and being with them every step. That's amazing. Thank you. Ronald, what does the customer experience look like for your clients, and what do they need?
Tash, I think these days clients want a multiple channel service experience. They want to be able to get hold of you in multiple ways on multiple platforms, whether it be email, WhatsApp, SMS, Zoom. And then they also want real-time feedback and messaging. And I think that's what Lindy was speaking about. If you get a request, you need to be first on that. You need to, the SMS comes through or the email comes through, get hold of that client and return their call straight away. The other thing I think is a personalized customer experience. It's not a one-size-fits-all anymore. Each client has got different needs. Yanni that lives down the road, who's 80, doesn't want to chat on WhatsApp. He wants to meet in person. But his neighbor, who's a lot younger, she likes fast-moving action, send her a WhatsApp and wants quick response. I think the other thing people like these days, social media presence. They want to see who you are, what you're up to, what your ratings are. And then as a whole, customer service is something we all need to work on. Happy clients stay clients. And client retention is a lot cheaper and easier than client acquisition.
Those are very, very wise words. And just to kind of go through that again, Gary also said, that you said is the people want a personalized experience. So when CRM programs had just launched into the world, it was acceptable to have one-to-many communication, right? You set up one email and you just kind of blast it off to everyone. But our customer needs have changed, and it's actually now a one-to-one kind of experience that you need to let them feel they're having. So yes, it should be systematized and you should be using tools, but it needs to be tailored to what they want and need, and you get to do that through tech.
Definitely.
Awesome. Tiaan, can you add for us? What do your customers need from this tech experience?
Yeah, well, I totally agree with both Lindy and Ronald. But for me, what we found in our area is that what clients want the most is just to be kept in the loop. And it all boils down to communication at the end of the day. And communication is extremely important at all times. So for instance, to give a might be a simple example, is to send out weekly progress reports and updates to the seller specifically, is something that we realize that most other agents just don't do. And that alone can differentiate yourself from the other agents in the area. Just to keep that constant updates and communication.
And that's actually something that's so simple, but being in this age of knowledge, age of technology, we assume that people know everything because it's on the internet. But the real estate process is not that simple, and it's really emotional. So communication is absolutely key, and that's something that people slip on, and they forget that they can leverage technology to make that easier.
Can I add to that one, Natasha? So on the weekly report, it makes a huge difference because it's not our home, it's their home, it's what they've lived in it, their memories are there and their family is there. And cutting those emotional ties when it comes to price adjustments, if you've given them week after week, this is your competition, this is where the pricing's going, this one sold for that price, this is new to the market, eventually they're going to ask you, do you think we priced right? And we don't have to have that hard conversation. We've done the work week by week, and they're going to ask us to change it. And that is us helping our clients and getting them sold and getting them to where they need to go.
And that's essentially what we're there to do. That's the goal of this game. So with all of that in mind, can you share with us, and I want you to think back to where you started as a real estate agent, right? Whether it was 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, how has MyEdge and technology and just your mobile device changed how you do business? And if you don't mind sharing what kind of systems you use that our viewers can probably replicate or use in their business. Tiaan, let's start with you.
Well, Natasha, with MyEdge, it enables you to optimize, manage, and run your business at to optimize and run your business with unprecedented simplicity and insight. It's more than just a CRM. MyEdge's interconnected tools support connections between data and clients, keeping you in the center of it all. So one of the tools available in MyEdge that probably had the biggest impact in my business is the campaigns. Not only can you set it up in such a way to remind yourself to do certain things, because if you're working with 30 or 40 sellers at the same time, I mean, it's difficult to keep track of all of those things. But in any case, so you can set a reminders. It can send you emails to remind you to do certain things, like, for instance, sending out newsletters, market-related information, whatever the case may be. But it also enables you to automatically stay in touch with your clients on a regular basis, whether it's weekly or monthly, and it keeps you top of mind with your clients. And when it comes, and when they are eventually in that time of their life to make that move, you'll be the first agent that they will think about. So in my opinion, if you're not actively using campaigns, you are leaving a lot of money on the table.
Oh, absolutely. I can vouch from personal experience. Campaigns literally bring in listings and buyers. Wonderful, thank you. What other systems do you use that really support your business? If you just think of your mobile phone, your laptop, what's something that you can't go out without anymore that you used to be fine without?
Is it still for me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously your cell phone. I mean, it makes things just so easy. I mean, if you look at other tools, I mean, whatever you use these days is tools. If it's your cell phone, whether it's Excel, whether it's whatever system that, I mean, Mark always said, you know, the best systems is the system that you will use at the end of the day.
I love that. Yeah. And if you don't know what the value is of that system, you don't tap into it. So also thank you. The campaigns in MyEdge is phenomenal. Ronald, go ahead. What kind of impact has tech had on your business, MyEdge, mobile, just tech in general?
Yes, I think MyEdge, and I really enjoy the package or the CRM. I worked on quite a few, and I think MyEdge is really powerful. The biggest thing, especially through these times that we're in, the COVID times, we were able to pack up and go work from home exactly the same as we did from the market center. Nothing actually changed. MyEdge improves the communication process. As Tiaan was saying, the campaigns. I run a lot of campaigns, and I agree with Tiaan. If you're not using campaigns, you're losing out a lot. Campaigns is probably one of the most powerful tools on MyEdge, as well as the direct mail. I use direct mail every day in MyEdge. And then collaboration for our team. We can all log onto MyEdge and see the same thing, which is great. Again, in the times we're in, we weren't able to drive everywhere and go everywhere. but the whole team knew exactly what was going on. On the tech side, other tech, obviously my age is my top one. I don't use much fancy tech or fancy programs. Zoom, Google Meet, and Hangouts, probably a big one. Facebook, I use a lot, but not in the depth of someone like Kirby Chan. I don't know if he's on the call. I see he was on our list. And then WhatsApp. WhatsApp, great for me. Something I tried now, so in the last 6 months, is home anniversaries. And it's really powerful. It was a simple image I sent out on a WhatsApp to a client I'd never met, or not a non-met, should I say. And I just said, happy home anniversary, 6 years ago that your house registered. And since then, I've done a few, and about 8 out of 10 times, the reply you get is, wow, Ronald, I actually forgot we bought this house so long ago. And what an icebreaker to have. Oh, it's great. Did you know people in your area actually only live there for 7 years? Are you guys looking to sell in that? And that works really well. And then, like I said, campaigns, contacts, and instant mail in my edge. And then the other thing is, don't go and spend, especially the rookies or younger agents, newer agents, should I say, don't go and spend a lot of money on social ads or paid ads, SEOs and that. There's a lot of free stuff. My edge doesn't cost you money. WhatsApp doesn't cost you money. And we said it earlier, technology, everything's available. You can learn pretty much anything. So if you want to do paid ads or learn more to advertise on Facebook, Google it, YouTube it. And if you don't come right on Google, YouTube, phone me. My 3-year-old daughter seems to know everything at the moment. She could probably help you.
Awesome, Ronald. I love that. Before I add, Lindy, let's hear from you. What really makes a difference in how you service your clients?
Absolutely. I think what we forget about my age is that how quickly we get our listings to the market. It is pretty simple. Once you've done them a couple of times and figure out how the system works and what you need to do first, the first couple of times I floundered around, and then I learned, okay, right-hand side first, put in the ID number, link the property, and then do all the rest. So you get your listings to the market first. You can share from there. I really have a good time sorting the database with groups. I think is very important, because the message to buyers and sellers, the people who are on your 36 touch versus the people who are on a 12 direct, is not the same. And you forget about people in your database when you get to 1,000 or 2,000 people. And if they're on a 12 direct, you could put in a call and get them back onto a 36 touch if you've got them in a group, and you can export those groups. You can work in Excel if that just makes you comfortable. So it is a nice way. It's my filing system.
Can I ask you just to elaborate a little bit there for our viewers? And Tiaan and Ronald, feel free to also share. How do you organize your contacts? Because I know for many new agents, they actually just don't know where to start. So how do you organize your contacts so that it works systematically for you?
So when I organize my database, I start first with the people that's my sphere of influence. These are the people that I know, my family, people who, if they don't give me the listing, they'll be in serious trouble. So they my sphere of influence. I'm on the False Bay Business Network. So I've got what I call advocates. They are the people that will give me business, refer business to me. I give them business. So when I need a plumber or an electrician or somebody that is going to do work at one of my clients' houses, then they need to be referable as well. So I've got those people. I have a buyers group. I then break down the groups into months, so that should I need to see who all my buyers was for January, I can quickly pull that group and run through all of them, see if there was anybody that I missed. I have a sellers group for each suburb because I do geographical farming. And then on the buyer's side, I also do pricing. So I kind of know in which because the buyer that's buying at 3.5 million versus 1.5 million, the discussion and when you send them information and items of value is not the same. So I sort my database with where the people are, where they live, and whether they are a buyer or seller, and whether they are people that I do business with.
Fantastic, thank you. Before you continue, I want to just find out from Ronald and Tiaan, do you have a different way of sorting your database? Pretty much the same.
Pretty much exactly the same, Natasha.
Just to
Okay.
categorize it so that you know which just so that you know who are you communicating to and what to communicate. So basically, I can't really add to that. It's perfect.
Okay, awesome. Top notch, Lindy. Thank you.
Yay!
So was there anything else that you wanted to add? Because I kind of interrupted you when you started talking about your groups, just so that people know there's
Yes.
method behind the madness, and it really helps to categorize them.
Well, the people that know me well, I have a saying that says, I don't have ducks and I don't have a row. I have squirrels and they're at a rave. So I need these things to keep everything organized and flat on the earth so that when I need to talk to clients, it looks like I'm organized, even though I might not be. So yes, I use it for organizational skills. And that's the other tech, Keller Williams runs on a Google platform. Use the tools that they give you, the Google Meet and jumping online. I now do most of my office, probably 80% of my office is in this kind of scenario. They sit in their house, I sit in mine. We run through the offer to purchases and then I pick up the paperwork. Everybody is more comfortable. Plus, it takes me like an hour and 15 minutes where it used to take me 2 hours. So now I can do more. So use it to your benefit.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I wanted to add. From the Google side, all of the Keller Williams accounts are linked to the premium Google suite. So you have unlimited Google Hangout sessions that cost you nothing. They allow you to share screen, to record the session, giving you the opportunity to do more. So absolutely, go ahead and look at that. And then just one more thing that I thought I should add to my edge is, we have something called the KWLS. And I know that the three of you have absolutely leveraged it, right? It's not just getting your listings on as quickly as possible, but leveraging the platform of thousands of listings that you can use to also share to your sphere of influence. Those campaigns that we're talking about aren't just focused on your own listings, but you're actually leveraging the listings that are on KWLS to service your clients best, right? Instead of just showing them your handful of listings, we've got an amazing opportunity to show properties across the country. So no matter where your client is, you get to be that local expert on their behalf, which I think is quite a cool tool.
And I want to add one thing to that, Natasha. It's got your name on it.
Exactly.
Not the other agent.
Yeah, it's got your name.
And your website.
Right. Yeah, so as soon as, if you share a listing directly from my edge, like Lindy says, it's going to populate your name. And if the client clicks on it, it goes straight to your website, which then allows the client to browse through all of our properties, but you remain that person. Right? So over and above just marketing, staying in contact, being on top of your tasks, it really actually expands your world to the entire country, and hopefully in the not too far future, the entire world, that you can really service clients that like you, trust you, know you, and are willing to do business with you wherever they may go. Any last thoughts on that point before we move to the next one?
I was going to say on the G Suite thing, which is really great. Sorry, I interrupted you there. And I don't know if people know it, the Google Drive is unlimited space. Where do you have a hard drive, you've got unlimited space. And that's something each agent's got access to. And I take full advantage of it. It's a really good thing.
And then if I can add something, sorry, Natasha, well, if I can add to that as well, in terms of Google Drive, I think that's something that simplifies our systems in the office so much. Everything can be shared. I shared it with my assistant as well. And, once we've done a listing presentation for whatever the case may be, or CMA, she knows exactly where to find it on her computer. And I mean, it's just the systems work. And Google Drive is one of the systems that we use on a daily basis as well.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly my next question, right? So what systems, whether it's to your clients or to your team or just internally, what do you use on a daily basis? And I think, Tiaan, that's so spot on, especially where we are today. I mean, we're sitting literally across the country from each other right now. And, we can access whatever we need just through Google Drive. And like Ronald mentioned, it's got unlimited space, which I think is absolutely priceless, that you can store all of your documents there. So what else? What do you use on a daily basis when it comes to tech that you can't live without anymore? Lindy, we'll start with you this time.
Okay. So, well, obviously my age, because I don't have the time to make those pretty campaigns. So that works while I'm sleeping, because we all need that too. Lightstone and CMA I use to make sure that I stay on top of data, what's sold, what is registered for, because, you know, agents will tell you that they got a certain price, but then you check the registration, it wasn't anything close to that. So I check my stats all the time. I use a Google Drive sheet that I manually capture all the properties that is for sale. What did it list at? What did the prices drop to? How many days on the market? I set a reminder for 70 days so I can follow up on that to try and get the sold after they're done with their agent. And I do Facebook. I had the privilege of meeting Kirby Chan, and if he sees us, hi Kirby. And he spent his time for a year on a Thursday with us, showing us how to work Facebook. So that's one of the tools that I use in technology.
Can I just pause there and ask, you know, what is your, because a lot of people say they have no idea what to do on Facebook. So what's your approach? What do you share with your viewers on Facebook? What works for you?
Well, that depends on what month it is, I suppose. And I change the strategy and I check out what works and what doesn't work. Right now, what is working is groups. So find groups in your community that you can join. We have a very strong one of 14,000, I think, right now. It's called South Peninsula Moms. People ask for recommendations. They say, do you know this? So it's become like that village where people like ask who's the baker, who's the person that you need to work with, and you get your name out there. I think I pay $100 a month, and on a Monday and a Wednesday I can share any content on there. So on a Monday I share an item of value, and on a Wednesday I share what new listing is available. But I share it from my page, because on a page I can track the numbers. So, and those numbers I can give sellers feedback so they can see Property 24 had 134 views, but I had 2,400 views on Facebook. You know, I had 5 inquiries on that one, and I had 7 shares, which is more data to give the seller to show them what I'm doing to get their property sold. So one of the things that I learned from Kirby as well is we started as a little program called ManyChat. So we were doing Facebook adverts. I'm not running them at the moment because my conversion rates I wasn't doing so well anymore. I was 50 cents when I had them down to like 2 cents a click. So I have to figure that one out again, go for more training. But that's a little bot that answers you. So if you go to Lindy Brome-Cook at Keller Williams, it's my Facebook page. You can type in there buy or sell 97 steps, and a little computer answers you. So use technology to make your life easier and answer more people.
Awesome. That is really cool. Thanks for sharing that. Ronald, share with us, you know, day-to-day tech, what have you leveraged? And if you're also using Facebook, please share how that kind of fits into your world.
I use Facebook, not as in depth as Lindy and them. I am researching now on paid ads. I think we're at that point where we need to. And if you look at the States and the other regions, paid ads have become a big thing. And you and I actually had a chat about it with Gary linking up with Facebook. The leads they're getting in is unreal and at a really good price. So Facebook, I'm still trying to fine tune. A big one for me is WhatsApp. Any social media, it's the same thing. I can't tell you how many WhatsApps I send a day. I've created a program and a system where at least 50 personalized WhatsApps go out a day. That's a big one for me. And then obviously the campaigns in my edge, really important. The instant mails and then saved searches, as well as one thing we forget in G Suite is the Google Calendar. It's really a powerful tool to keep us on track, and as a team to keep us on track as a team.
I also Google Calendar everything. Could you share with us, if you don't mind, so you say, you know, no less than 50 personalized WhatsApps a day. What kind of content do you share in those messages?
So it started last year with COVID after attending Bold, and it was a general checking in, how you're doing, how's the family doing, or are you all okay? And now it's a matter of, we chatted last year, are you in the market to sell? I was straightforward, are you in the market to sell? And the response on WhatsApp's a lot more friendly, if I could put it like that, than on a phone call, because you often get a bad call. And it's not so easy on WhatsApp to shout at someone. Capital letters don't scare me as much as someone shouting in my ear. And it carries on further there. Even if someone says, you know what, I can show you a few WhatsApps. We're not selling now, but thank you for contacting me. And what's nice is that message is there. The phone call is gone. By the time they put the phone down, they've forgotten you. That message stays there. Next weekend, when they're having a braai, they pull out the phone and say, but you want to sell? This guy chatted to me in the week. They're looking, and it's area bound. So we've got buyers in Moreleta Park, for argument's sake. Are you looking to sell your place in Moreleta?
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's great. So that contact doesn't get lost, right? And it's easy for them also to share your contact via WhatsApp again to the next person. Awesome. Leon, you mentioned Google Sheets. What else really lets your real estate business tick and move forward?
Well, it's going to be difficult to add something to what both Lindy and Ronald said over there. But I mean, obviously at Keller Williams, we've got all the tools, besides all the tech and tools that we've just spoke about now. We've got everything at our fingertips at the end of the day to make life easier. But, you know, when it comes to being the local expert in the area as well, besides my edge, to be the local expert, you have to be extremely knowledgeable as well. And not only when it comes to helping buyers and sellers, but also about the local market in your farming area. So you need to know your numbers. You need to know what percentage of property sells every year. You need to know what the average price range is in that area, etc., and so on. And Lightstone obviously gives all that data for you to be that knowledgeable expert in your local farming area. So Lightstone is one of the, I mean, obviously I'm using the power of leverage. So my assistant mostly does all the work for me. But yeah, so Lightstone is one of the programs that I really enjoy, and systems or tech that I use, you know, to increase my knowledge at the end of the day.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Lindy also touched on that. Lightstone is unbelievably powerful, and I think very underused by most real estate agents, but that's what puts you ahead of your clients, right? Because your clients have access to the internet. Most of them, here and there, you probably do get a client that's figured out Lightstone, but most of them don't have that information. And that's what allows you to be that local expert for them. Give them information that they don't know, and also be able to have really great conversations. So, and for everyone that's on the call, Lightstone, you have an unlimited Lightstone account linked to your Keller Williams account. So just like you got Google Suites, you have this unlimited Lightstone account where you can pull property reports, suburb reports, complex reports, and become the local expert. You already have the access to it. All you need to do is use it. So I love that. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I know we've had a great...
I want to add to the Lightstone item, especially like new interns always asking, where do I get started? And, you know, when you look at geofarming, which has been most agents' best success story, if you pull a suburb report, it tells you who has the recent sellers been, who's the recent buyers, how long have they stayed in their home. So if you can look at that data and then you pull a street report and you put it into Excel and you say, from this age to this age, and they've lived in this house for so long and so long, there's your script. Like Ronald says, you know, stats show that people stay for 10 years. You've been here for 11. I was just wondering if you have you been thinking of selling? So you're talking to the right people, rather than just having a bomb drop onto the area. You've got a missile approach, which makes your life easier. You're going to get more yeses, and your life is going to be easier. So use technology.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I can't remember who it was that said, but I think it was Ronald that said, people are like, well, thanks for reaching out, right? We're not ready yet, but nobody else has reached out to me. Most real estate agents aren't proactive, right? They don't go out and continuously put themselves in front as the local expert. But when you do that, you're immediately putting yourself one above the rest. So on the tech that, you know, we use on a day-to-day basis, I know that there are many different approaches of getting into action with your clients. And something that I've heard is a lot of people, you know, run competitions or give away freebies to get into action from their clients. And I was wondering if any of you have used Google Forms in some way, either have a survey that they can win a meal voucher or a movie voucher for 3 or 2 or whatever. But have you used Google Forms in any way in your business? Is it something that's starting to slip in or not yet?
Tasha, I'll start there. Not as a giveaway or a survey. Again, when COVID kicked in, I created a form to do our protocols. And when someone sent through a request, automatically again on WhatsApp, sent them the form, and they could send it straight back to me, which obviously builds a database at the same time. And then
Yeah.
further than that, not just COVID now, to find out about pre-approval and all of that, the form gets filled in, and I've built a database on the back end in Google Sheets, which is already there. And the other benefit of it, where we've tested it, is Facebook. So Facebook has a lead form. We don't have lead forms on My Edge, but Google Forms is a lead form. So you could put your ad there and send the link to that lead form, and they could fill in from there. So advertise a listing on Facebook, put the link of your form. Do you want to view this property? Are you interested in whatever you're trying to market? They could fill in that form and send it back to you, and you've targeted the right market.
Absolutely, and that's where I'm headed. You know, Google Forms, it's really simple. It's also free of charge, and like Ronald says, it creates this back-end Excel sheet full of data. And Google also has a really cool app that allows you to do mail merges from there too. So you can either import it into My Edge, you can do a mail merge straight from there. But it's a phenomenal way to gather data. So a suggestion from my side is, you know, do a survey of your clients, something quick that takes 3 questions or just 2 questions. You can set the form to automatically populate their email address. So even if you don't have their mobile number, or you probably do because you have it on WhatsApp, but then you verify their email address and you ask them 2 quick questions. You know, how long have you been in the area? What's your favorite thing about the area? Anything, and then give them something that they can win. People love winning stuff. And the best thing that you can do is, when, even if only 3 people have done the survey for you, make sure that you like really celebrate the winner on Facebook and get people to start engaging with you. Quick information, the more information you get from your clients in the area, you can say, you know, I did a survey of the area and people love this area because of the parks that we have. Are you looking, you know, to add people to our area, or maybe you're looking to sell, whatever it may be, but there's really fantastic ways to use tools that are available to us. All right, so any last words of wisdom? You know, how does tech give you the edge? What can you share with our viewers, and what ultimate advice would you give them if you knew that right now when you started? What would have made your life easier? Ronald, you want to go first?
Jump in there, Natasha. So what gives me the edge? In the MREA, it speaks about the 3 L's: listing, leads, and leverage. Tech obviously helps, or leads, listings, leverage. Tech helps you get the leads, helps you get the listings, and my biggest thing is the leverage. Tech and My Edge especially is free. It's free leverage. You don't have to pay for it. And if I can leverage that, it gives me more time, which tends to my big why, which is spending more time with my family. So, and I'll give you a story on that. When starting at KW, I loaded a big database through CSVs, and not bragging on this, actually more a mistake than anything, probably the biggest mistake I made in My Edge. The end of the year, I think it was 2018, I sent out 119,000 touches. And if you do that back, it's 320 odd emails a day. It's almost impossible to do that. And that was literally happening while I was sleeping. I wouldn't tell everyone send that many out. It's terrible. At that time, our emails were coming in at between 4 and 6, the campaigns were going out, and waking up to 3,000 emails is not good, telling you to phone 3,000 people. Words of wisdom: if you're going to research technology, set a time and just research it. Because if you're on YouTube, before you know it, you're looking how to do Facebook paid ads, and then all of a sudden you're looking at a cat riding on a llama's back, want to be eaten by a hippo. It's crazy what happens. And on My Edge, I always say in our training, you can't break it, especially to the newcomers. Use it as much as you can. Click on every applet, try every button in My Edge. It won't break. Use that system. It is really powerful.
Thanks, Ronald. True words. You really can't break it. And if you do, I'll fix it. But you can't break it. Theon, your side. What can you share with us?
Well, Natasha, just to add to Ronald over there, I mean, tech gives you the ability to not only use it as leverage so that you can be more efficient, but you can do so much more faster. And it takes your level of service to the highest level, and with very little effort that you have to put in from your side at the end of the day. So to add any words of wisdoms to newbies specifically, it won't necessarily be with regards to tech, but my advice would be just to keep it simple, stupid. You know, don't overcomplicate things. Success leaves clues. Just follow the model and go back to the basics. And for me personally, it all goes back to one thing, and that's to focus on your 20% and lead generate every single day. Because without leads, you're not going to have a business.
Absolutely. True words have not been spoken. Thank you, Tiaan. Lindy?
So for me, tech allows me to be me. It gives people an insight as to who I am and how they will be treated when we are in business. So the WhatsApp will get a GIF at some point. They will laugh, and it gives me an opportunity to be different and stand out from the crowd. We all know the triple L, the leads, listing, leverage triangle. But for me, the other triangle that is just as important is the one where Gary talks about models as your foundations and then your creativity on top. If you put the creativity at the bottom, the models on top is going to topple over. Learn how My Edge works. You do not have the right to be creative until you've mastered it. And as Molly said yesterday, it says follow the model. It doesn't say perfect the model. So just stick with it, go through it, learn it, and then you can play around with it. So that would be my tip for newbies.
I absolutely love that. Please go ahead.
Can I add something to that? With regards to the model, and we've got a saying and a sort of a little joke in the office. We have to boerewors it a little bit, just to South Africanize it.
Yes, yes.
But follow it as close as possible.
Yeah. The thing is, when you start with creativity, like Ronald said, you end up watching a video with a llama with a cat on it, right? You diverge or move away from what your original plan was. So I agree, keep it simple. Realize that technology is a tool that's going to take your business forward, and that you need to embrace technology, but you don't need to embrace, Tesla and NASA right now. No. You need to choose one thing that's going to work for you. Really focus on it. And remember, as soon as you start something new, you need to give it some lead time. Right? How long am I willing to test this and see the return on it? You can't do something for 3 days and expect 5 listings. You're probably going to have to do it for a month or 2 months or 3 months, because you're nurturing those relationships. Sending me emails, sending WhatsApps, being active on Facebook, all of these things contribute to that relationship. So don't be scared of technology, leverage it, and really, like I think Ronald said, leverage everything that we have. We have training videos. We have phenomenal speakers. Lindy shared that, she learned from Kirby Chan. All of Kirby's videos are on Google Drive. Nikki Klein has been a guest speaker on this family reunion twice now, today and yesterday. She's absolutely a Facebook boffin. They're these people that we get to learn from, right? We get to walk in their footsteps and realize that there's an amazing way of doing this, but you need to choose one thing and stick with it. Every single one of our panelists have a different approach, but they're not trying to do everything. They've probably tested a couple of things, figured out what works for them and what doesn't, and it's okay to fail. But choose something, become the master of it, and stick with it for a while so that you can see the results and whether that's going to work your business model.
Step 1.
Absolutely. Are there any last thoughts that you'd like to share with our guests?
Yeah, I'd like to share one. Natasha, you talk about these incredible international speakers, and they are superstars. But we have superstars in our own midst. T. Martins, Vanessa Chaplag, Anushka Livo, who has been 2nd year in a row #1. Those girls will pick up the phone and chat to you if you wanted to chat. So everybody is here to help you. I know, Natasha, when I've had several problems, you are there. Remember, the computer works in binary code, in zeros and ones. You can't break it.
Yeah. And Linda, you're so right. We have amazing speakers. We have all these recordings where yourself and T. Martins were recorded. Neil was also one of them. So all those sessions are there, and I think we should just share them because there's so much value. And absolutely. And if you don't know where to find Anushka's telephone number or Lindy's telephone number, it's on My Edge, right? Go to the listing advanced search, put their name in, and you're going to find their telephone number, or go to the top performers little dashboard. It's there because we're a family, right?
Just
and we're
Google
here
it.
to help each other. Or Google it, right? They're on Property 20. A real estate agent's telephone number is completely exempt from the POPI Act. It's everywhere.
And Natasha, I think you can let the whole of SA know. Lindy, we hope you have a fantastic birthday.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Thanks,
Happy
Ronald.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Lindy. We're all singing with you in our hearts. And thank you for being an amazing panelist on your birthday. We are happy that you're celebrating with us.
Well, I was saying to my colleague Cindy yesterday that I have a thing that each and every birthday I have to do something that I haven't done before. Last year I went ziplining and it was literally frightening. And this year was a panel on family reunion. So thank you for that opportunity to live what I say I'm going to do for my birthday, something new every year. So thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, we are so happy to have you. Well, thank you to each of you. Ronald, Tiaan, Lindy, thank you so much. This has been really fantastic. I'm sure there have been thousands of ahas. And this recording will, of course, be posted onto the platform too. But thank you